All right, folks, good morning. Thank you for coming. I think we'll go ahead and get started. So my name is Derek Paley. I'm the director of the Maryland Robotics Center. I'm on the faculty in Aerospace Engineering, the Institute for Systems Research. I want to start by thanking Po-Yan Chen for organizing this event, and Michael Odie for organizing our industry night last night. We really couldn't do it without the time that you guys invested. Really appreciate it. And also want to acknowledge Gabby. So Gabby Madison is a staff member in the Maryland Robotics Center. She is the education coordinator. Came and started in January and really rapidly came up to speed and has really made it possible to organize events like this. So thank you, Gabby. This is really, really outstanding. So I'm just going to speak for a few minutes and then we'll get to our first keynote. And so I want to introduce a little bit for those of you who are not familiar with the Robotics Center, just tell you a little bit about it. So we are an interdisciplinary research center that's technically part of the Institute for Systems Research, which is a unit in the Clark School of Engineering. Our physical location is next door in the brand new Idea Factory on the third floor, which will be open at the end of the day today for an open house. So you're welcome to check out the Robotics and Autonomy Lab in the Idea Factory. And we also have 2 labs and our administrative offices across the street in the Brendan E. Reeves Center. And we have a mission to advance robotic systems, component technologies, and applications of robotics through both research and education programs. So we've grown recently. We have a really big tent. Anybody on campus who does robotics, we invite them to join the Robotics Center. So we are now just shy of 50 faculty. I'm really excited that when we hit the 50 faculty mark, I feel like that'll be a good milestone for us. We have 49 faculty across 10 departments and 3 colleges at the University of Maryland, including our most recent faculty member who joined the Robotics Center, who does underwater robotics for ONR. He's in the Department of Art. Cy Keener. So really excited that the breadth of research activities in robotics, it's a reflection, I think, of the momentum robotics as a discipline has right now. As I mentioned, we have an administrative staff. So in addition to Gabby, we have Yvonne Penske and Michelle Liu. Our assistant director position is open. Anya Picard, the longtime assistant director for the Maryland Robotics Center since its inception in 2010, has announced that she is retiring next month. And so we'll be looking for a new assistant director. That search is open. If you know anybody, please encourage them to contact me or apply on ejobs.umd.edu. So some of the highlights, I want to recognize some of our faculty achievements. Last year, based on our faculty activity reports, 250 journal publications, almost $80 million in total funding. We've got to have a couple of recent NSF Career Awards. So if you're not familiar, NSF Career is a really prestigious award for young faculty. So Eleanor Tubaldi and Abhinav Srivastava from Computer Science recently received those. Some of the old timers have some PCASE recipients listed there. And then a number of really large active research grants. And this is not an inclusive list, but you can see that we've got funding from, we're very well funded from not just DoD, but other agencies as well. And a couple of our faculty, and this is not a complete list, have really prestigious, notable recent awards, including Data Now and Min Woo. So I'm really excited about the strength and breadth of robotics research at the University of Maryland. Some of the media highlights. So the University of Maryland was one of 3 university teams selected for the latest DARPA Grand Challenge. So if you've heard of the DARPA Subterranean Challenge, and before that Humanoid Robotics Challenge. So the latest one is the Triage Challenge. So University of Maryland, Carnegie Mellon, and UPenn are one of 3 university teams selected along with 4 industry teams to compete to use drones and robots to assess the severity of injuries and mass casualty incidents. And the year 1 competition will be in October. We have Cornelia Firmuller has launched an AI initiative under the University of Maryland Grand Challenge program to develop an AI-based approach to music instruction. And our University of Maryland Autonomous Micro Air Vehicle team received the top prize in the NIST First Responder UAS Indoor Challenge last year, and got a proclamation from the U.S. House of Representatives. How cool is that? From Congressman Glenn Ivey in PG County. So those are just selected highlights of robotics in the news. I'll just play this short video here. Hopefully this is playing. So this video was compiled by the Big Ten Network, and aired live during University of Maryland football and basketball games. So, sometimes you wonder what's the significance of being at a Big Ten university and having, Big Ten football and basketball programs. Well, it's visibility, folks. As our previous university president said, Wallace Lowe, um, you know, athletics is like the front porch. If the university is a house, the athletics is the front porch. It's not an integral part of the house, but it's the part that everybody sees. Okay. And so here we are and at a Big Ten university, and we've got now a national TV contract to air our athletic events. And so the Maryland Robotics Center has that level of visibility. Of course, it's during the commercial break, but we'll take it. So these are the 8 research areas that our faculty work in. You can see the numbers in parentheses. It's the distribution of faculty, and those numbers add up to more than 49 because some of our faculty do more than one thing. You can see we have strengths in autonomous systems, bio-inspired robotics, cognitive robotics, and multi-robot systems. You can see the various funding agencies that support our research. Fridays at 2 p.m. are the Maryland Robotics Center seminar series. So traditionally, we've had visiting speakers from other universities. You can see the lineups, selected speakers from this past spring semester. All of these are archived and available on YouTube as well. And thanks to Yancy Diaz-Mercado and other faculty, we launched last year a new national webinar series called the Microsoft Future Leaders in Robotics and AI. And you can see some of the speakers from this past semester. So this is a showcase to feature PhD students and postdoc researchers and early career professionals, particularly focused on underrepresented minorities and women. So this has been a huge success, really exciting, really fun webinar series that we launched with the support of Microsoft. So for those of you not familiar, I mentioned 2 of the labs. So we have 3 facilities here. So we have one next door in the Idea Factory that'll be open today at 5 p.m. for you to check out. 2 over in the first floor of the eReeb Center, our Brin Family Aerial Robotics Lab, and the Robotics Manipulator Lab. But of course, the University of Maryland has other really world-class facilities, including the largest underwater research facility on a university campus, the Neutral Buoyancy Facility, which is a 5-minute walk that way. We have the Fearless Flight Facility, which is on over behind the metro. For folks not aware, it's a netted flight facility for drone research. And then in Southern Maryland, we have our new smart building for autonomous research and technology, and our UAS Research and Operations Center. So really a lot of resources here for robotics and autonomy. Okay, shifting to education, and make sure I'm not going too long here. So I got a couple minutes. So we have two prominent education programs here at the University of Maryland. The first is our graduate Master of Engineering in Robotics degree. So this is a coursework program for graduate students interested in robotics. It's administered by MAGE, the Maryland Applied Graduate Engineering Program, and there are now over 220 students that are part of our Master of Engineering in Robotics. It's the largest and fastest growing program in MAGE, as a matter of fact. And our second highlight is the relatively new Robotics and Autonomous Systems undergraduate minor. So this launched in fall 2021. It is a limited enrollment program. We had 105 applicants this spring for our fall 24 cohort, which is our 4th cohort of undergraduate students. And we're capped at 80 students at the moment due to limitations of lab space and teaching space. That minor is open to students in mechanical, electrical, aerospace, and CS only. We also have Pathways program. We have a tuition awards program. We have a postdoc fellowship program. So I don't have time to go into all of these different programs, but if you go to robotics.umd.edu under education, you can read more about them. All right. I'm very excited that today you'll have a chance to interact with some of our student teams, including Robotics at Maryland, one of the longest and oldest robotics clubs that we have here at the University of Maryland. So MRC-sponsored teams, like a lot of University of Maryland student teams, do extremely well in competitions. So that is a tradition of excellence that we have here at the University of Maryland. And the Maryland Robotics Center is extremely pleased to sponsor these teams where students are dedicated, they gain the skills that employers want, and they do well and raise visibility for the University of Maryland on a national stage. And so those teams include the Autonomous Micro Air Vehicle team I mentioned earlier, our Autonomous Drone Racing team, Robotics in Maryland, TERP Rockets, Leatherback Combat Robotics, Terraformers, and I think that's an incomplete list as a matter of fact. And in addition to that, we're very pleased to sponsor local high school teams. A lot of FIRST robotics teams reach out to us. The list goes on and on and on and on. So we're really delighted to really be developing that pipeline of students interested in pursuing robotics. All right, I think I'm winding down here. So I do want to mention our Diversity in Robotics and AI initiative. So this launched in 2020 with the support of Amazon Lab 126, now Amazon Consumer Robotics. And with gifts from Amazon, we launched a Diversity in Robotics and AI PhD fellowship program. And we launched a Diversity in Robotics and AI Sea grant program. And then Microsoft got on board 2 years ago and is supporting us for not only the webinar series that I mentioned, Future Leaders in Robotics and Autonomy, but also a Diversity in Robotics and Autonomy PhD fellowship program. So this has been an initiative that has corporate interest, corporate support, and we're really delighted to continue it into the future. All right, very last but not least, I want to acknowledge some of our other external partners and sponsors. We are endorsed by the ARM Institute, which is the Advanced Robotics and Manufacturing Institute. So we have an educational endorsement, which means if you go to roboticscareers.org and you search Maryland, University of Maryland's Master of Engineering Program in Robotics will be the first link. We also have a large cooperative agreement with the Army Research Lab, so we work really closely. One of our speakers is a former Army Research Lab employee. And I mentioned the Brin Family Foundation that sponsored our Aerial Robotics Lab. And of course, the National Science Foundation has supported our use here for undergraduates. So that's it. I'm really excited for this event today. Thank you to everybody who's here. Thank you to our speakers who came to present. And thanks again to Poyan, to Michael, and to Gabby for organizing this. And I hope everybody has a great day.